Hello and namaskar, dear viewers. Warm welcome you. This is a live interactive session present by CIET NCRT, and you all watching us on the channel number 7 and beside this on our official YouTube channels. That channels is NCERT Official and NCERT eVidya Class 7. My name is Trujan Rajput and this is a session of mathematics for class 7 students, and the topic we are going to learn is फ्रैक्शंस एंड डेसिमल्स पार्ट 1. सो ये हमारा मैथमेटिक्स का आज का विषय है एंड वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न लॉट्स अबाउट दिस टॉपिक, एंड इफ़ यू हैव एनी डाउट एंड क्वेरीज प्लीज़ फील फ्री टू कनेक्ट विद अस. यू मे कॉल अस ऑन द नंबर इज़ ऑल्सो फ्लैशिंग ऑन योर स्क्रीन. इट्स 8800440559. इसके अलावा आप हमें मेल भी लिख सकते हैं. हमारी मेल आईडी भी और सभी जानकारी के साथ साथ इस समय स्क्रीन पर है. ये मेल आईडी रहेगी dth.class7@ciet.nic.in. इसके अलावा आप जिस भी यूट्यूब चैनल के ज़रिए हमें देख रहे हैं, आप ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल के लाइव चैट बॉक्स ऑप्शन में जाकर अपना प्रश्न लिखकर हमारे आज के एक्सपर्ट से पूछ सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये एक लाइव फ़ोन इन प्रोग्राम है. आपकी सभी कॉल्स को लाइव शामिल किया जाएगा प्रोग्राम में और हमारे एक्सपर्ट भी उसका जवाब जो है आप सभी को देंगे, और यकीन मानिए ये सब चीज़ें हमारे सत्र को और बेहतरीन बनाएंगी. सो वी हैव अ टॉपिक एंड वी हैव अ मीडियम्स टू कनेक्ट विद अस, एंड लेट्स कम टू मीट मैम मिस राधिका. मैम नमस्कार, वार्म वेलकम. मैम टीजीटी है, नेशनल पब्लिक स्कूल वाइट फील्ड बेंगलुरु से. मैम आज हमारे साथ ये टॉपिक डिस्कस करेंगी, फ्रैक्शन एंड डेसिमल्स पार्ट 1. सो मैम फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स क्विकली रिवाइज व्हाट वी लर्न इन क्लास 7 विद दिस टॉपिक.
Yes. Good afternoon, children. So you have already learned about fractions, right, from your grade 5, and then you started learning with simplification. So let's start with a recap of what we learned. Okay. So we started with learning what is a fraction. Fraction is a number representing it's a part of a whole. If it is a whole, if you're dividing into half, we say 1/2. So in the fraction itself, we have discussed about two types of fraction. Proper fraction and improper fraction. If you look at a proper fraction, or if you look at numerator, that is, there is a numerator and denominator, which is 1/2, 7/9, 11/12, 109/200. In all this, you will see that denominator is greater than the numerator, which is called as proper fraction. And improper fraction is where the numerator is greater than the denominator, which we convert it into mixed fraction. You already learned how to convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction. Okay. Now, even we discussed about what is an equivalent fraction, like how do we convert a fraction to an equivalent fraction by multiplying the numerator and divide the denominator with the same number. Also, we know that a fraction should be always discussed and then denoted in the lowest form, so that there is no common factor in the numerator and denominator. Okay. Now addition also, if you remember, do you remember how we added the fractions? Yes. If the denominators are same, we just have to add the numerator. So here if you see an example, 2/7 plus 3/7 is 2 plus 3/7, which is 5/7. So if it is the same denominator, we can just add the numerator or denominator. But what if the denominators are different? For example, in case 2, you recall that when there was a 7 and 5 as the denominators, which are not same, we take the LCM of 7 and 5 and make the denominator same, which is 35. So when you are making the denominator same, that is the concept of equivalent fraction. We are basically making the denominator same. So 2/7, you multiply by 5 numerator and denominator, which is 10/35 and 21/35. Since the denominators are same, we add the numerator and we get our final fraction, which is already in the lowest form. So this is what we did in grade 6, how to add and how to subtract a fraction. So what do you think will be the topic today? Since we have already done with addition and subtraction, what should be the next topic?
Yes, now it's very clear. मैम प्लीज़ आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि आप आगे भी इस चैप्टर को हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए क्लियर करें.
Yes. So this is the next topic. What we are going to discuss is multiplication and division. In the multiplication itself, we have a fraction by a whole number, fraction by fraction, fraction by a whole number. So whole number by fraction. Division also we have a similar way. Once we know multiplication, the division is going to be much easier because they are correlated. Okay. Now, how do we multiply a fraction? Okay, so let us take an example. To multiply a whole number with proper or an improper fraction, we multiply the whole number with the numerator and keeping the denominator same. Remember, was not the same case with addition. Here, when the 3 by 1, 3 is a whole number which can be written as 3 by 1. When it's multiplied by 2 by 5, you are multiplying the numerator here and you are multiplying the denominators here. Okay. So here numerator is 3 multiplied by 2 and 1 multiplied by 5, which is 6 by 5, which always should be converted into a mixed fraction because 6 by 5 is an improper fraction. Okay, so we know how to multiply. We just have to multiply the numerator and denominator. What is the logic behind it? So let us do one activity and understand why it is 6 by 5. Okay. So what did we do? We multiplied, that is we 3 times 2 by 5, right? That is another statement of 3 multiplied by 2 by 5. 3 times 2 by 5. Remember that. That's what is our idea. Find 3 times 2 by 5. Okay. So here you see this rectangular sheet is divided into how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the whole rectangle sheet is divided into 5 parts. So how do we get 2 by 5 in this? That means 2 out of 5. So what are we doing? We are shading 2 out of 5. So in this rectangular sheet, 5 parts, we are shading 2 parts of it. And remember in our question, how many times we are taking 2 by 5? We are taking 3 times, right? This is the first time, this is the second time, this is the third time. So 2 by 5, 2 by 5, 2 by 5. So repeatedly 3 times. Now what are we planning to do? What we will do is, from this 2 part, we will cut this 2 parts from each rectangular box. Okay? And we will take another 2 rectangular box this. So you can see here, I have cut 2 parts from each rectangular part. So how many parts we have? 1, 2, and 3. And we will place this shaded area in this rectangular sheet. Okay? So how do you think we will be doing it? We will take this rectangular sheet and place it here, right? That's how we start doing it. And this second one, we will place it here. Now, what will we do with this part? We have 2 square box here. Can we place it here? No. So what we will do, we'll divide this into 2 and 1 we will bring here and 1 we will bring here. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so this is the first pasting I have done here. Then the second pasting we did. So we have only 1 box left. So we divided, cut into 2 halves and kept it in this. Now you tell me, look at this here. Isn't it this is 1 whole? The whole thing is covered, 1 whole. And here this is out of 5. How many parts we covered? 1 by 5. So isn't our answer is 1, 1 by 5? Yes, so we got the answer 1, 1 by 5. So this is how we multiply a fraction. Are you clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
clear.
So what I discussed earlier with 3 times 2 by 5, which was a whole number with a fraction. If we can continue with this with a fraction, So if we are multiplying fraction, it is a similar way when you're taking 3 by 7 and 2 by 7. When you're multiplying, multiply the numerator, which is 3 and 2. Multiply the denominator, which is 7 by 5. So what is the answer? 6 by 35. So this is already a proper fraction. You don't have to convert it into mixed fraction. Okay. Now let's go and understand this. What is this fraction multiplication? So I discussed about 3 times 2 by 5 will give us 1, 1 by 5. Now let us go to the question what we discussed here. This is 3 by 7. Okay. What do you mean by 3 by 7? So if I take this square sheet or a rectangular sheet, if you take this, you divide this equally into 7 parts because it says 3 by 7. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we divided this into 7 parts. And what we need is 3 by 7. Remember what we need is 3 by 7. So we are shading 3 parts. Now what are we supposed to do next? Let's go back to the question again. It is multiplied by 2 by 5. Okay, what does it mean 2 by 5? That means 2 out of 5. So I'm doing it vertical, this line. So initially what we did is a horizontal line. Now we are taking vertical line, this line, and dividing this into how many parts? So this was 2 by 3 by 7, and here we are taking 2 by 5, right? So we are dividing this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is not 2 by 5 or 3 by 5. This division will be 3 by 7. Correct? So when we are multiplying these two, we are shading the part what is required for us. And the next part what we are doing is 2 by 5, right? So 2 by 5 when we are dividing this is, if you look at this, how many parts divided? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out of this 5 parts, we need only 2 parts. So we divided 2 columns. So these are called columns. So we're dividing 2 columns. Now what exactly we want? We want, remember we want 3 by 7 multiplied by 2 by 5. So the shaded area should be the area which is common to both. So what is the area common to both? So look at this area. This is the area common, right? So how many boxes will be shading? Yes. So let's see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is out of how many boxes? So let's see how many boxes 6 out of it. That is totally, if you look at the small boxes, it is 35 boxes are there, right? So it is 6 out of 35. So that is what we discussed about multiplication of the fractions. Okay. So this is fraction by fraction. Similarly, when you are doing it as an improper fraction or a mixed fraction, convert this mixed fraction always to improper fraction and proceed the question. So we get it as 34 by 50. Always convert the final answer to the mixed fraction, because in a day-to-day life, we always talk about in mixed fraction, right? 2 and a half, 3 and a half, or 3/4. That's how we discuss. Now you can see a few examples which I discussed here, like how to multiply the two numbers, whether it is fraction with fraction or with a whole number with a fraction. The only condition is multiply with the numerator and multiply with the denominator. Okay. But the final answer, if it is an improper fraction, we convert it into mixed fraction. So this is about the multiplication. So definitely the multiplication should continue with division because it is easy to connect with each other. Okay. Shall I go with the division?
Yes, ma'am, we have a time.
Yeah. So a division of a whole number by a fraction. What does it mean? 1 divided by 1 by 2. What does it mean? 1 divided by 1 by 2. How many half parts we can make from a whole? That is the meaning of this statement. How many half part I can make it from 1? So this one whole circle, I'm dividing into 2 half parts, isn't it? So this is the first half part, this is second half part. So 1 divided by 1 by 2 means 2. Okay. Now what do you mean by 2 divided by 1 by 2? How many half parts we can make from these 2 wholes? How many? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the meaning of division. But we have to find out using simplified rule, isn't it? We cannot do always draw a circle and divide it and do. So let us understand for this the concept of reciprocal of a fraction. What do you mean by reciprocal? Okay. The reciprocal of a fraction 2 by 5 is 5 by 2. Why is it so? The point for the reciprocal is when you multiply a fraction with a reciprocal, we should get the answer as 1. Okay, let us try here. What is 2 into 5? Which is 10. Denominator also 5 into 2, which is 10. And I've told you fraction should be always the lowest form. So 10 divided by 10, we are getting it as 1, isn't it? So similarly, reciprocal of 7 is 1 by 7. So how to divide a fraction? To divide a whole number by any fraction, multiply that whole number by the reciprocal. That is the difference. Which reciprocal? That also by the second fraction only. So when you multiply 1 divided by 1 by 2, take the reciprocal of 1 by 2, which is 2. So 1 into 2 is 2. Now it is how you multiply a fraction. 2 divided by 1 by 2. So we are changing the division into multiplication with changing the second term fraction to its reciprocal, which is 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. Okay. So for division, the one thing we should always remember is take the reciprocal of the second fraction and multiply it with the first fraction. Okay. So divide a fraction by a whole number, multiply the fraction by the reciprocal of the whole number. So when you are seeing 1 by 2 divided by 5, always the question will be there, what is the denominator of 5, isn't it? So what is the denominator of 5? Exactly correct. It is 5 by 1. So the reciprocal will become 1 by 5. Okay. So 1 by 2 into 1 by 5 is 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 2 into 5, which is 1 by 10. So are you clear with the division now? What you should be very careful with this reciprocal we are taking for the second fraction.
Yes, ma'am.
Take off any two fractions, whether the first one is a fraction as a whole number or second one is a fraction. When you are taking division, focus on the second fraction. Take the reciprocal of it, multiply with the first fraction. And the condition is multiply with the numerator. This 5 means 5 by 1, isn't it? And denominator is 2 into 1, which is 5 by 2. And convert this into a mixed fraction, which is 2 1 by 2. Okay. Now let us take few examples. Let us see how we solve this question. 9 divided by 2 by 5. So what does the division means? Remember, take the reciprocal. Reciprocal of 2 by 5 is 5 by 2. It's basically you're shifting the numerator and denominator. You're swapping the numerator and denominator. Now 9 into 5 and 1 into 2, which is 45 by 2. Again convert to mixed fraction, which is 22 and half. Take 3 by 11, divide it by 7 by 5. 3 by 11 multiplied by 5 by 7. It's a simple multiplication. Multiply the numerator and multiply by the denominator, which is 15 by 77. Okay. Now 3 by 7 divided by 2, which is 3 by 7 into 1 by 2, which the answer gives us 3 by 40. So the division and multiplication remain same. Towards the end, the only step difference which you find in the division is we are taking the reciprocal of the second term and multiply. Okay. So this is the difference between the division and multiplication. So you can try with lot of activities like what I did, that folding paper, what I've discussed it for multiplication. Try with any number and see. Then you will realize that for every folding activity, it remains same. Similarly, for division, try this with 3 by 15 into 7 by 28. Divide it. So how basically you should try is you divide it in such a way that if it is 3 by 9, divide this into 9 equal parts first, and then take this, shade this 3 parts. Then you want to divide, multiply with 1 by 7. Then divide this into 7 parts. Then you will understand the multiplication much better. Okay. So what we discussed today is basically how to multiply a whole number with a proper fraction or an improper fraction. The only difference is improper fraction has to be converted if it is a mixed fraction to improper fraction. And also we basically learned about fraction with fraction, whole number with fraction. Ultimately all are same, right? We are multiplying the numerator, we are multiplying the denominator. The only difference with addition, we have to be extremely careful, is addition, we take the LCM of the denominator to make it same. We don't add the denominators at all. But in multiplication, we multiply the denominators. Similarly to division, we just take the reciprocal of the second term and then multiply with the first term. So are you clear with this multiplication and division now?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear. And I want to ask you, as per examination point of view, what we expect from this topic?
Yeah. So most of the time, but that's what I was stressing the point about addition and multiplication. So we have seen by years the children learn addition. For example, when I say 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3, if you have to add these two numbers, we have to take the LCM and then we add it. So this will become 3 and this becomes 2 and this is 5 by 6. Now, since addition and subtraction is the first operation which we learn in smaller classes, that remains in their mind for longer time. So when they comes to multiplication, let's not do the same habit of taking the LCM. Here you don't have to take the LCM of 2 and 3. There is not required for LCM for this 2 and 3. You just have to multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. This is something which we have seen through years, the common error children make. That for addition and subtraction, they take the LCM, which they continue for multiplication and division also, which we should not do at all. There's no LCM concept which you have to use for multiplication and division.
यस मैम, नाउ इट्स वेरी क्लियर। और यहाँ पर इस सत्र के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद भी करना चाहेंगे। आप सभी व्यूअर्स को बता दूँ, हमारे साथ मैम मिस राधिका हैं, टीजीटी हैं, नेशनल पब्लिक स्कूल वाइटफील्ड बेंगलुरु से। और मैम ने फ्रिक्शन एंड डेसिमल पार्ट 1 हमारा ये जो टॉपिक था उसे बहुत ही फ्रूटफुल यूज़फुल तरीके से एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से हमारे व्यूअर्स स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बताया। मैम, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट। सो डियर व्यूअर्स, हम आपके लिए बस कुछ ही देर में CIET NCERT द्वारा प्रसारित एक और लाइव सत्र लेकर जुड़ेंगे। ये रहेगा कक्षा 8 के बच्चों के लिए हिंदी का सत्र, जिसमें विषय होगा लाख की चूड़ियाँ। तो आप यूं ही हमारे सभी सत्रों से जुड़े रहें। आपको बता दें कि eVidya चैनल नंबर 1 से लेकर चैनल नंबर 12 पर हमारे कार्यक्रम प्रस्तुत होते हैं। इसके अलावा NCERT ऑफिशियल और NCERT PMeVIDYA क्लास 1 to 12 का ये जो YouTube चैनल है, इस पर भी आप हमारे कार्यक्रम देख सकते हैं। यहाँ मैं सृजन राजपूत अपनी पूरी टीम के साथ इस सत्र से आप सभी से चाहूँगी अनुमति। नमस्कार।